Hi everyone and welcome to Club 3 episode 75 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we are in the absolute crunch matches of the season. We've got a couple left in the Premier League, 3 to be precise for us, and we sit 3 points behind Arsenal and we've got a game in hand. If we win all 3 matches, we could win the league if Arsenal just slip up slightly, because they've got a much greater goal difference than we have. So it's got to be on points that we win it, really. But yeah, we've got a real shout there. Liverpool, a couple of points behind us on 35 games as well. So there's still to play for, but we've got to be consistent over the next 3 games. And we've got Wolves, Chelsea and Leicester. But today, it's all about the Champions League. And it's all about the second leg of the semi-final. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button for a second there. And in the first leg, which was at home, unfortunately, we came away with a 1-0 loss. We absolutely tried as much as we could, but it didn't quite work out in the end. And we came away with a 1-0 defeat, which isn't terrible against Real Madrid at any point, is it really? But in the home leg, you'd kind of hope you'd come away with something. So we've got it all to do today. 1 game away from home against one of the European giants, and we've got to pull something out the bag, really. So what are we going to do that? Well, we're going to go basically with what we know, but we're going to go with experience today, more so than anything else. Obviously, we've been talking a little bit recently about the injuries that we've got to some key people, like Olart is unfortunately still out. The good thing is Osmani has come back into the side and has played well recently since his injury layoff. And so the experience that we go for is basically Joku comes in for Ivan, got much more experience in that holding role. Vogel over Olashenko comes in at that point, and Pauletta up top over Monterese. Monterese's still doing better than Pauletta overall, but as we spoke about in the last episode, he doesn't quite like the big games, and also Pauletta has just got a little bit more experience. So that's what we're going for, really. So yeah, overall, the idea is to go in with as good a side as we can, with the most experience to cope with the big match atmosphere as much as is possible. But over all of that, we can't sit too defensive, because we can't allow them to just pile drive us, because we've got to get something from the game. And I don't want to go too offensive too early, just because I feel like we will run out of steam halfway through the game. So we're going in with a controlled possession, the way that we normally play, just to see in that first half specifically whether we can keep it tight, and then we'll try for something in the second half particularly. So that's the intention for today. And all of that means that what we've got in terms of first team is ILM in goal, Romario and Batista in central defence, with Osmani at right back, Pellegrini at left back, Joku, Vogel and Martinez in central midfield. So Harvey Elliott on the right, Gouveia on the left and Pauletta up top, with a bench of Francois, Cooper, Ivan, Olashenko, Barnils, Farrow and Monterese. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've gone with, if you can find the recent form, then we'll do okay, because recent Premier League results have been absolutely incredibly good, obviously to keep us in contact with Arsenal at the top of the table. So that's what we're trying to tap into today, and we need a bit of a heroic performance, really. Everybody at their absolute best, no mistakes, lots of passion and energy to get the ball away from Real Madrid and try and keep it away. It's going to be the hardest thing of all, isn't it? And it's Real Madrid first off down the left-hand side with a throw-in after 9 minutes. A first strike at goal. And the second follow-up shot goes inches wide, doesn't it? A good blocked shot in the first instance, and the second one slightly narrowly wide. But there is their early sighter, and they are dominating the early portion of the game. In terms of possession, it's even, but we haven't had a shot at goal yet. But we've got to keep it like this through till half-time. Reassess it at half-time, really, with hopefully no further deficit. But again, it's Madrid. And the header comes in from that far post off the free kick, and it goes narrowly wide again. And they are getting closer and closer all the time and still putting on the pressure. We've got to ride our luck a little bit, and we don't manage it. Oh, dear. We are really up against it now. 36 minutes gone. They're now 2 up. And, of course, they've got an away goal, which counts in their favour as well. and we've got to find 3 goals to go through. So at this point, even though there's still a few minutes to go till half time, we don't have any choice. It was a gamble to try and use this to get through to half time in a structured manner, and we didn't quite manage it. And so we're going to go straight into the gegenpress. We're going to have to go for this. There's no other way I can see of getting a result. So we're going to go very attacking, very early, and just see what we can get out of them. So we're going to put him in the attacking midfield role. And yeah, this is going to be really tough, isn't it? Hold on to your seats, folks. Here we go. So back into the game. Immediately we're going to press play and then go into the shouts and ask them to get creative. Just a few minutes before half time, see if we can carve out one chance. And we didn't quite manage it, but we did have a couple of shots at goal. You can see that shots on target is no different, but they've had way more chances than we have. And all of those sighters at the beginning of the match were what really helped them finally get a breakthrough. So aggressively, we're going to say we owe Madrid from what happened last last game. So go out there and do something about it. And then we're going to... what was that given us? Some motivation. Defensively, not quite good enough. So we're going to passionately and say, I have faith in you. And there you go. There's a change in the defence. So we're going to leave it at that and just see whether that helps us to get anything from this second half. But boy, is it going to be tricky. Let's see what happens. So they're playing a 4-4-2. We're playing our 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. Hopefully we can find the numbers in midfield to dominate the possession of the ball a little bit and get something from it. But it's Real Madrid on the counter-attack. We've got a few people back, but look at the cavalry that was arriving for Real Madrid. So much pace there. And we're kind of done, aren't we, really? Surely that's it. I don't see any way of us getting out of this now. Osmani, second yellow card, and gets sent off with 54 minutes on the clock. So well over half an hour of this match still to go. What do we do now? Oh, boy. Okay, so let's think about this. What have we got on the bench? We've got Cooper, who could play it right back at a push if need be. We don't really have one. I think we're going to have to gamble a little bit, aren't we? So what we're going to do is we're going to take Pellegrini out and put Francois on. And we're going to put him in the central... No, we're going to put him in the centre of midfield. Which way round do we want to play this? Let's go in and have a look. His best is covering, so that's the one we want there, and we're going to push him slightly into the defensive role. That's how we're going to set them up. We're going to make these two much more defensive, so we'll leave him on that role, but we're going to have to bring him back as well. Let's change Vogel out for Ivan, and we'll get him playing a better role. I don't know. Give me 2 seconds just to sort this out, otherwise this will drift and drift. Okay, so I've changed up quite a lot, really. So we've gone for 2 defensive midfielders and we brought Olashenko in. So Ivan and Olashenko in midfield create a 3. We've still left 3 up top and we've gone for a direct counter-attack. So anything that we can soak up here, we're going to immediately try and hit the wings. So in transition, if we say distribute to the flanks to the goalkeeper, that should help. In possession... we're going to focus down the right and down the left, and we're going to hit early crosses in and just see what that can do for us. It's all or nothing at this point, and this could be awful. This could absolutely get Real Madrid 4 goals, who knows, but at this point we've got to try something, haven't we? What a disappointing end this will be to an absolutely incredible European campaign this season if this is the way that we go out. On a sending off and a double from Real Madrid, 1 in each game, and even more now. Oh, we were lucky, hit the woodwork and comes back out. And don't tell me we're giving a penalty away. Oh boy, we are doing it to ourselves, aren't we? Really, a sending off and a penalty in this second leg has just not been good enough. Absolutely not. And ILM guesses the right way, but it goes underneath him. And you know when your heart just sinks a little bit in this game because you know that this is just not something you're going to be able to turn around. We're down to 10 men against Real Madrid and we're now 3-0 down on aggregate, which means we have to score 4 goals. I think we're done, folks. I think we'll just have to let this play out, because I can't see that changing up is gonna impact the game too much. I think it's just one step too far for this Derby County side at the moment, and that's perfectly okay in the sense of this is our first season in the Champions League, and it's an incredible achievement to get to the semi-final, and this is still a side that we can tinker with and improve every summer. For the next couple of years, 3 years probably, we could still continually improve this side with a few players here and there. So we are not the finished article, but when you get so close, it's kind of gutting, isn't it, really? Paoletta gets a header on, but there's nothing to do there. There's no one to support him, and it comes straight back at us from Real Madrid down the right-hand side, cuts inside and has another shot that goes wide of the goal. 2 minutes left. And there you go. We absolutely tried. I tried everything that I could think of. And ultimately, against Real Madrid, when you're down to 10 men and you give away penalties as well, and you have to score 4 goals in the last 15 minutes, there was nothing I could do about it. Absolutely nothing I could do about it. So we'll say unlucky, boys. It would have been nice to win there, but it wasn't to be. So just as the game was ending, if there's a bit of a random jump cut here, it's because my doorbell went and it was the postman just dropping something off that was too big to go through the letterbox, just as I was about to round up what happened in this game and figure out what we do next. But so how do we reflect on it? Ultimately, we reflect by thinking that it was an incredible performance to get to the semi-final. Absolutely it was. And Real Madrid would have been hard anyway, but we gave them too much stuff. We gave them an extra man to play with, and we gave them a penalty in that second game to push their lead up as well. And ultimately, there's just nothing we could do about that, really. Once those things had happened, we were fighting a losing battle. Really disappointing, but as I say, in the progression of this Derby County side, not a bad place to be at all. We've still got the Premier League to fight for this season, so that's going to be our focus. Next episode, we'll come back and we'll play the last 2 games of the season. Chelsea, and I think Leicester, is it, or somebody like that? We'll check that out in just a second. I've seen that we've got budgets for next season that we'll have a look in a second as well. But yeah, for now, I'm really, really ecstatic with how we've done. It was so close, and every time you get that close to a final, it's so disappointing not to get there. But this is Derby County in the first season in the Champions League, and so ultimately we've got to reflect positively to that, really. So, semi-final defeat, Real Madrid go past Derby County. Osmani gets his suspension, really poor challenge, wasn't it, for that second yellow card. We qualify for the Champions League for next season, and that's really important, just keeping us moving forward. And drum roll for the budgets, and we've got 80 million to spend. Not bad at all. That's going to be pretty good for us, and we've got plenty of budget in the wage as well to play about with, so there's stuff we can do there. Absolutely there is. So we focus again on the league, and we've got 3 games left. We've got Wolves, Chelsea, Leicester. Next episode, as I say, we'll come back and play double header Chelsea and Leicester just to see where we're at. But let's go and have a look one last time at this competition page and the Premier League, and just see that we are 3 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand. If we win the game in hand, we go equal on points, but we are behind in goal difference, so we have to keep winning. We cannot afford to lose these games, and they're tricky games, aren't they? Where are these 3 teams? Wolves are down in 17th. Not a bad team to come up against. Then Chelsea in 7th and Leicester in 9th. Tricky sides to finish off a campaign that you're trying to fight for the title. If we go into and have a look at Arsenal's schedule, who have they got for their last couple of games of the season? They've got Huddersfield and Birmingham. Wow. Okay. I mean, they're potentially losing out to Man United in the Europa League semi-final, possibly. But yeah, Huddersfield and Birmingham. Okay, back to the competition page. Let's see where Huddersfield and Birmingham are. Huddersfield are in 18th. Birmingham in 12th. We might just lose out here, folks. We might just lose out. But we're going to give it as good a go as we can. Disappointing today, but overall we can't be too disappointed with where we are this season. Bring on the Premier League end of season, and we'll see what happens there. 3 games left. 2 for next episode. Chelsea, Leicester. Can we put the pressure on Arsenal, or are we going to give it away like we did today a little bit? Anyway, that'll do it for today. Thanks for joining me. Sorry that we couldn't quite make the final of the Champions League, which would have ended this series, of course, if we'd have managed it. So we do continue with this series, probably with Derby County next season, but that's not a guarantee. This could be an opportunity for us to move on. We'll see, especially if we win the title. Anyway, we'll have to figure that out in the coming episodes. But for today, that'll do it. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button for me if you can. Helps me get seen by loads of other people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.